Hi, my name is Owen. I'm a fourth year psychology student from the University of Limerick, and in this podcast I'll be talking to you about depression. What is depression? Depression is a mental disorder usually described as a persistent state of low mood and often associated with feelings of profound sadness, hopelessness, and loss of enjoyment in life. For a person with depression, life can feel like an empty, pointless, and meaningless struggle. Pleasurable activities that you would usually enjoy are not experienced in the same way. You may feel like you don't have any energy. You're tired all the time. You may have difficulty concentrating or making decisions, with your mind constantly interrupted by highly negative, repetitive thinking. Depression affects millions of people all over the world. It is thought that about 1 in 5 of us will experience depression at some point in our lives. Many psychologists tried to understand depression using psychological theories. One theory, proposed by Beck in 1967, is known as Beck's cognitive theory of depression. This theory tries to understand the mental events and processes, such as ways of thinking and feeling, that lead to feelings of depression. Beck's model suggests that negative styles of thinking may develop from unfavorable experiences early in a person's life. For example, poor relationships at home, or persistently experiencing criticism or failure. These negative styles of thinking influence how a person makes sense of themselves and the world. The theory proposed 3 main belief themes that dominate depressed people's thinking. First, a negative view of themselves as inadequate or worthless. Second, a negative view of the world around them, thinking everything they do results in defeat and failure. And third, a negative view of the future, seeing the future as hopeless and that nothing they can do will change it. These beliefs can shape what a person pays attention to and how they understand everyday situations. For example, if a person with depression gets a question wrong in class, they might overgeneralize this and think to themselves, I always get everything wrong, I am stupid. The theory suggests that these negative thinking styles and beliefs might be activated by a negative or stressful life event such as the death of a loved one. This will produce a low mood which can trigger more negative thoughts, resulting in a vicious cycle which may lead to depression. Researchers found support for Beck's theory of depression. In a study by Lewinson in 2001, researchers measured the attitudes and thinking styles of hundreds of people and assessed them for symptoms of depression. A year later, the same people were reassessed, and it was found that those who had more negative attitudes and who had experienced a negative or stressful life event were much more likely to show signs of depression. But what does all this actually mean in the real world? Well, the research shows that negative patterns of thinking are indeed closely linked to depression. Out of this research was developed a type of therapy called cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT. This therapy is a proven effective method of treating depression. The therapy focuses on changing the way a person responds to a given situation. That is, the therapist will try to help a person with depression to change from the negative thinking styles associated with depression to having a more balanced and healthy outlook on things. Importantly, this means that people with depression can be helped. Therapy can change the way a person processes information so that they don't just highlight the negatives, but focus on the positives too. If one can change the way they perceive this world through therapy, their mood and behavior will also change. Okay, let's recap. We've seen that depression is a mental disorder which affects the day-to-day lives of millions of people worldwide. We've looked at Beck's cognitive theory of depression, which outlines that negative thinking styles and negative beliefs about the self, the world, and the future can lead to depression. We have seen the theory behind cognitive behavioral therapy and discussed its benefits. Depression is not something you have to suffer through. It can be helped.